Hello and welcome to another episode of Creative Appetite. Today I'm joined by my good friend Jess. She is the owner and creator of SJE Jewellery, which is a sustainable jewellery brand that makes necklaces out of recycled pearls using recycled fishing line. Is that right?
Indeed, yes. Recycled beads, fishing line, shells. Yeah, as much as I can find.
Perfect. It's always... I get to the point of like doing the intro and then I'm like, now I like thinking in the back of my head, I'm like, I wonder if I've missed anything or if I like really like cooked this.
You did really well. It was really good.
It's like one thing I was like, because in most podcasts, everyone has like these long-winded intros and they got like a piece of paper. But because I don't write any of my notes, like I don't really research the guest before having them on.
Yeah.
Which is probably like a backwards way of doing a podcast, considering you should probably know, but the whole point is to like have an open conversation like you would if you were just down the street and you just met someone for the first time, where I find that if I researched, then I'd know stuff and then I'd kind of be like, not less interested, but I'd feel like I'd already know the information that I'm about to talk about, which is not exciting.
Yeah, and it's more closed-ended questions and stuff then, right?
I'm closer to the...
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
No, I'll bring it closer to you. Where you can
Is that better?
Yeah, no, it's just so... Yeah, because it's like directional. So if you like...
Okay. How's that?
Yeah, perfect. It gets everyone like... I think Perry was on and he was like talking like way back. I was like, no. I was like, come closer.
It doesn't bite.
Yeah, it's real weird to get used to. Like, it took me a while to get used to it, but I'm all right now. But yeah, as I was saying, I think it's like more of a genuine connection that you'll have with someone if you just jump in and just go for it. Because a lot of people ask if I, like research or write up questions or whatever. I literally just make the question up on the fly.
That's great though. It's natural then.
It's naturally like trying to analyze. So
Great.
where did you get the idea to design jewellery, specifically pearl jewellery? Oh, that word.
No, I can't even say it. Jewellery.
Yeah, so why did they make it so
just
hard?
Jewelry.
Jewelry? Is it?
I feel like that's the Australian
Was
way
it-
to say it.
was it
Jewelry.
Just like everything, just rounding off like
Yeah.
like everyone's last name. They always just add like the end. Oh, what is it like? I'm trying to think like Bidsy or like Murphy. Or Murphy has got a Y in the end of it, but like they always
Yeah.
add like a little letter and like and then
just
shorten
like cut it in half.
Yeah,
and
cut it in
go,
half
yeah.
and then add like mate.
Yeah. Oh, it's true though. I actually first started with shells. So my name prior to SJE Jewellery was SJE sells seashells. So like G sells seashells. So I was using shells. But then I just got into pearls. So I was making stuff out of like shells and recycled beads and the shells I would find at the beach. And then as I was hunting the op shops, I would come across pearls, and then I was like, oh, let's use some pearls. It's kind of just evolved, really. Yeah.
What would be your favourite shell that you would have used?
If I'm honest, my favourite ones, there's the Coolum Bays.
Like you're talking about the beaches?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was like, is this like a shell name? Specific name.
So there's at the Coolum Bays, there's this spot, and there's just these really cool purple, kind of like tiny little cone shells, but they're not from like a cone. What's a cone creature? Do you know what that is? I don't know if it's called a conefish.
They're
or
talking about
whatever, no.
hermits.
Then they got the spiky things.
Wait, are you talking about a hermit? Or you,
Okay, so it's like a cone shell. And it's
Yeah.
really little and it's purple.
I think I know what the shell you're talking about, but now I'm trying to figure out what this creature is that you're trying to describe.
This creature lives in a cone shell.
I can't think of like
You heard about the creature.
think of a hermit. So anyway, shout out to that cone creature.
They're really deadly.
Oh, okay. Don't touch the cone.
Don't catch them. Don't do it.
Oh my god! Great. This is a great start. This is actually turning into a National Geographic podcast now. We're changing the subject.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. So that would be your favourite shell?
Yes, I love those shells.
God damn.
Just because they're purple.
That's it.
Yeah.
it. Oh.
Yeah, they're really pretty. They're a little bit hard to use to make jewellery, but when you find a good one.
In Hawaii, there is, I think it's called like the sunset shell. It's like this really weird, kind of like what a traditional shell would look like if someone was to draw it with like the two straight edges and like the curvy bit at the top. And it's like they look like that.
Yeah.
Apparently they're like a really hard to get, so people like dive down for them and try like make necklaces out of them. I think you should. I'm pretty sure it's called a sunset shell. Just a side note.
Shell. I'll look it up.
Irrelevant to any other Australian shells, but it just reminded me of that shell because like people, I don't know. I think a lot of people like a lot of people do like shells for some reason, but I always try to think of really exotic shells because you can find like all the traditional ones, like standard ones down on the beach. But then if you go like deeper, you can get like those massive cone, like the big ones that they used to use for horns and stuff.
Yeah.
And tribal.
Are they conch shells?
Maybe.
Conch shells? Yeah.
They're huge though. They're like ginormous.
Massive. When I was a kid, we lived on a boat in the Caribbean for a while. And then
Caribbean or Caribbean? Are we going to start?
We're starting this again.
No, yeah.
The Caribbean. And we would go to these beaches, and you know those massive shells with like the spiky bits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
were everywhere all over the beaches.
They're so expensive.
Insane.
I've seen people try to sell them in Sydney for like $200.
Damn.
I'm like, I feel like in Sydney you can get away with selling anything overpriced.
Yeah.
Like this one guy, he tried to sell me like this used, like kind of like a trench coat thing going on.
Yeah.
But like when he was like pitching it to me to sell it, he was like, "Oh yeah, it's a great coat. I wore it here. You should buy it off me." I was like, that doesn't really make sense to me.
Yeah.
So
he wore it to the market.
Yeah.
To sell.
And then he was selling it. I was like,
did he have a stall or was he just
he had
around?
No. He had a stall, but like I was like, I don't understand.
Wow, there you go.
Anyway.
Maybe it's an interesting sales pitch.
It was very interesting. I was like, it made me think about, like I'm still talking about it today, and that was about 4 or 5 years ago now. Wow. So I guess it worked, really.
Yeah. Did you buy it?
No.
Oh.
No, it put me off. I was confused after that. So what made you get into the pearl side of it then? How did you like transition from shells to pearls?
Well, I kind of just found some pearls in the op shop. So basically what I do is I hunt around the op shops and I cut up old necklaces, and then I found one with pearls on it. So I just got some beads and put the pearl in the middle and then beads on the other side, and there we go. I was actually really, really, really hungover when I came up with the design, and this was actually the first necklace that I made. Prior to that, I was just doing earrings, like shell earrings.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, so this was the first necklace that I made, and it was really beautiful. I had these amazing African beads, so I used those, and then, this pretty little pearl in the middle, and then that's how it started, really.
African beads, is that just like the design name, or are they like legit from Africa?
They were from Africa.
Like probably someone who's into beads would know that I'm an idiot, but it seems like, I was like, I don't know if that's just like the name.
I'm not really an expert in beads.
You're like, I'm actually a bead.
I should be, but I really don't know my beads very well.
It's going to be a podcast full of laughing. I'm excited. This is going to be great. So what makes them an African bead is just that they're made over there, and that's why?
Yeah, so I didn't actually find those ones in the op shop. They were a gift from my mum's partner who's from South Africa. So he bought like a necklace as a gift to me from South Africa, and I just love the beads.
So you just reuse them?
Yeah.
You put a pearl in between?
Yeah.
And where do you find your pearls?
On pieces of old jewellery in the op shop.
Oh, just all through op shop?
Yeah, so most of my stuff comes from the op shop. So I'm always op shopping. As of late, I've been looking on eBay for old pearl necklaces to get like kind of, I guess, more strands of pearls so that I can do more pearl pieces like your like necklace. Yeah, rather than just like centerpieces.
Yeah, I think because like the centerpiece is more like a classical design.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes. was my first,
pearl connoisseur over here,
Yeah.
Jessie. I know what's going on. No, it's such an interesting way to like not re-uptake, but like the old traditional style of like if you saw someone wearing a pearl necklace, usually it comes from like wealth, like it was a status of wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Where now it's like anyone, because what you're doing is pretty like progressive in terms of like recycling pearls. Because like when I was growing up, I always thought that pearls were really expensive.
Yeah.
So when I found that you were making them, I was like, man, these must be really expensive. Oh God, I just all from like this old, I don't know. I guess maybe it's from like your parents like telling you that, or like old movies and stuff like that, making you think that they're expensive. But
Yes, they are, I guess, seen as like a valuable
yeah,
item or, I think
how long does a pearl take to grow?
I have no idea. I should know, but I personally, I don't really agree with pearl farming. That's also why I choose to only use recycled pearls. Like, I just don't think it's very nice to exploit the oysters like that. So
Oh, that's right, because pearls come from oysters, hey?
yeah. So the actual farming process is really quite nasty to the oysters, in my opinion. So that's why I only used recycled pearls.
Can you open up about the oyster farming? Because a lot of people probably don't understand about it.
I don't really know very much about it, but all I know is that they basically, they like inject like stressors into the oysters because apparently they produce the pearl as a stress response. So they put like a little piece of sand or something in there, stress the pearl out, then it stress out the oyster, and then it produces the pearl.
Yeah, okay.
However, this is all secondhand information, so I could be incorrect. I'm not a marine scientist.
People out there just like, that's it, take down the
But even so, I do know that they reuse the oysters too. So like they'll take out the pearl and then, which normally it's not, they have to open up.
Yeah.
And then they put something else in there to replace it. So then they make a new one. And
That's fair enough.
It's not very nice.
I don't really think any type of farming is nice. Like fish farming, for example, is like terrible. Like when I was traveling Australia, we were down in Tassie somewhere. Don't know the specific location, but you could literally see like we were in this like real beautiful bay, and then there was just all these like fish farms. I was like, that's so cooked. And then I watched a documentary on fish farming, and I was disgusted by how intense, like how bad the living conditions are for fish. Like it just seems stupid and pointless. It's like, but that's how bad it's gotten in terms of like the whole environmental scene. And it's like everything is starting to get depleted, and it's not rejuvenating as fast as how much is getting taken out.
Yeah.
Which is kind of scary.
It is scary. It's such like mass production of animals. It's just
the whole thing.
It is
It's very.
Yeah.
I think there's better ways to do it, but unfortunately, with the current government that we have, I just don't see it changing anytime soon. Like it's great to be like to stand up for all these issues and push back, but I think there's only so much pushback you can give without. Like I just don't see a lot of change happening at a fast rate. Like it's so slow.
It is.
And it's like concerning to think that maybe it's going to be too slow, and then it's just going to be not enough. Like that's it. It's just going to change.
Yeah. But you know what they say? They say that humans aren't actually bad people. It's the people who have kind of become in charge who are perhaps less kind. So, a lot of people put all this stuff on, humans are so bad, humans are so awful, etc. But I think humans are actually really kind. They've just been, I guess, pushed in a certain direction.
Yeah, for sure. So like it's all the way I see life and how I perceive people is that like when I was younger, I used to be really judgmental. Mm-hmm. Not judgmental in the way that like I would go out and say something to someone, but I always used to judge people coming from the background that I came from and not understanding. Like when I was young and not mature, I didn't understand that people's life decisions or how like their life trajectory and their journey and that's led them to where they are. And you might not, like, you can't just judge them based off face value because you don't understand what someone's gone through to get to where they are.
Yeah.
So like as soon as you start judging someone, it's like you just, Like you never know, like that person could be really either struggling or they could just be a really great person in general, but it's just like, or you might catch them on the wrong day, or like there's so many factors as to why you shouldn't judge someone.
I know, yeah.
So now I'm trying, like now that I'm a bit more mature, I'm like, all right, I'm way more open to people being a bit rude, or like even something like crazy is like driving in a car and people with road rage. It's like, it's like, oh, like it's frustrating as it is sometimes when people drive and do dumb shit. It's like, you don't know if that person's coming from like someone's died in their family and they're trying to get home, and they're like, there's just so many factors.
There are.
So that's why I'm like, nah, I'm trying to be more zen and
you.
just really, I feel like it's a good way to be. Just treat everyone how you'd like to be treated.
Exactly, yeah. And just try to look for the good, even if they're blasting you.
It is hard.
It is hard, but yeah, it does, yeah. It's nice to try.
Yeah, it's like my whole life goal is to make someone smile a day. And if I can make someone smile, I'm like, sweet. That's like, I think it's simple and easy and you can do it.
That's really nice.
It's not crazy.
Yeah, achievable.
Achievable.
But important.
Did you when you were growing up, were your parents kind of like that? Were they like very supportive, and like you were brought up in a very loving household, and did they allow you to be creative?
Yes, my family, they're really beautiful. I've actually only kind of recently become creative. I was always very sciencey prior to doing this.
It'd be fun.
But when I was a child, like young, I used to like sew my Barbie's dresses and everything like that. And my mum would always do it with me, and she'd always encourage me to do sewing and beading and everything like that. So yeah, they've always been so supportive of whatever I'm doing.
Are you originally from the Sunshine Coast?
Originally from Canberra. Or Canberra.
Cold place.
I know, cold place. And then we moved to the Caribbean, and then we moved here.
What were you doing over there? No, I don't want to say the word because I'm just going to butcher it. Oh my God.
In the Caribbean, we were just living on a boat. So we sold the house in Canberra, and then we bought a boat. And we were just like sailing around the West Indies. Just exploring, and my brother and I, we were doing like homeschooling, and then we lived on one of the islands for a while and went to school there, and then we moved back here and just started up in Karoi.
Karoi's north, right?
It is, yeah.
Like past Noosa?
It's like inland to Noosa.
Inland.
So it's in the Noosa
like
Shire.
Near Tewantin?
Yeah, like more inland to Tewantin. Kind of more towards the hinterland.
My geographical sense around here is real bad. Jesus, that's okay.
Have you not been to Karoi?
No, I have. I like walk around. Like I drive around for work, and I'm like, where is that place? I'm struggling. Wow, this is not good. Anyway,
that's okay.
Right. So you were growing up. You mentioned that you were real sciencey.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you started to become more aware of like environment? Like the environmental impact that you would have, like if you kept going down the path of like consumerism?
I guess so. Yeah. Oh, I would honestly say it was just more the people I was surrounding myself with. Like everyone who I surround myself with is very conscious and, you know, just like I guess aware, you know, not like going down the trajectory of consumerism and all that stuff. Yeah. So I think it was honestly just my friends and the people I was around. I just learnt so much from them all. I didn't do environmental science or anything like that. I've always been interested in it, and I know it's important. But yeah, I think it's just kind of more been life that's shaped those opinions of mine.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Did you, when you were over in the Caribbean?
Well done.
Did you get to see the kind of, I've actually never been to the Caribbean, so I can't comment on what it looks like, but was there a lot of like rubbish and stuff in the water, or was it really clean and really beautiful? And then were your parents like very progressive in terms of like keeping the environment safe and like doing your bit to not harm or keep harm reduction down to as best you can?
Yeah, they were pretty good. In the Caribbean, it just depends where you go. So a lot of the places are really pristine, especially where the tourists will go. They'll be really pristine. Yeah, they love their ocean and everything. You can tell. you know, it looks really beautiful. But then I guess some of the more poor towns, there would be lots of litter everywhere. Yeah, you know, I'm sure you've been to a third world country. You know what it's like. Yeah. It's just a bit, I guess, it's just
Is it a
rubbish
third world
everywhere.
country over there?
Depends which island you go to.
Okay.
So they're all like individual countries. So some of them are second world, some of them are third. Yeah, it just depends.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I've never been there. So all I know of it is that it's really beautiful and there's really crystal clear blue water. Mm-hmm. But then that's all the touristy stuff. So you never really know.
Yeah, it is beautiful though. Yeah. And the people are really gorgeous there.
Yeah.
Like the locals. Yeah, they're really nice. Yeah.
Really nice people.
Yeah, man.
So I think you might have already said this, but when did you start SJE Jewellery then?
I believe it was April or May of last year, so 2021. I started off really slow, just through Instagram, and kind of mainly just selling to my friends. And then I put everything on hold to go study at uni in Brisbane. I just kind of couldn't keep going with the two. And then I came back and I decided to go full time with the jewellery. And since then I've been like pushing it a lot more. So really full time, probably since December. But I guess I was poddling along since April time.
Just kind of cruising.
Yeah, just like, you know, testing the waters. Like I was just always making stuff and then not really selling it. Like it was, I guess, yeah.
That's probably a good thing though, to like build a bit of a backlog. So then when you go what type of word am I trying to get out of? Jesus, God damn it. When you do go to sell, like you have enough there to like to show people and like different designs and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What were you studying in Brisbane?
I started my master's in speech pathology. So you wouldn't guess with my pronunciations. You might be like, nah, that's not true.
Just get me real nervous now. I'll be like trying to pronounce my words a lot clearer.
Say Caribbean again, Jesse.
Yeah. Say it one more time.
Gonna write you a referral right here, right now.
I feel like I need one. Even today, like when I was speaking to people, I felt like my brain wasn't going as fast as the words coming out of my mouth. So like, I don't know what's going on.
It's normal though. It's normal. Like everybody has a little bit of, you know, like you have your on and off days with speech.
Oh,
like everyone,
like, you're trying to say I'm stupid.
No.
Everyone has a little bit of days where they're a bit stupid. It just doesn't really.
No, it's so normal. As of late, I will randomly get a bit of a stutter. Just like it's so weird. Just like, you know, and then I'll just struggle to get it out. So it's normal. It does happen to everyone. There's like a margin of like normality with that stuff.
How long did it take you to build like the stock from like searching the pearl, like trying to source the pearls and all that stuff? Was it like about a good couple of months, like building it up?
Honestly, it's kind of just been like running along, I guess. So I'll go and find stuff and then I'll make it straight away, and then I'll use the money that I made from selling those bits to buy the next, I guess, lot of pearls and beads and everything. So I've always got like beads and pearls. Like you should see my desk. It's just like chockers of like containers of beads, and then there's just like necklaces everywhere, like ones from the op shop that I need to cut up. And yeah, it's kind of just like been a continuous accumulation of stuff.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's so interesting to think about, because like so many people go to op shops for different reasons.
Yeah.
Even like Izzy, she goes to op shops for bed sheets.
Yeah.
And you go to op shops for like
yeah.
It's like this weird. It's like this whole nother world, especially if you're in the business of sustainability.
Yeah.
Like, because where most people that are designing clothes, jewellery or whatever, they're going to like main sources of like where you can get it from, like big companies and like consumerism style. Mm-hmm. But where people that are working in the sustainable area, whatever, they like you have to actually go out and physically go buy the stuff. Like
Yeah.
it must take so much time and effort just even going out to source it.
Yeah, it does. It takes a lot of time. You're kind of like scavenger hunting, you know? It's like a challenge to try to find something good. And oftentimes you go op shopping and you'll come home with nothing. But that's okay. You know, it's fun. At least op shopping's fun, you know?
Do you buy other clothes when you go, like when you go there, if you see like some cool clothes or anything?
Honestly, I just run to the jewelry section and run out. Like I'm pretty
efficient.
Yeah.
Just
just
in
like,
and out.
no. Yeah.
Is it only pearls, or do you mix them up with other like stones or like crystals? Like, yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Really? Damn, my brain is...
No, that's right.
It's crashing. No.
No, I've only really been working with pearls and shells. Yeah, I would definitely be open to using crystals and stuff. However, I guess I've always just gone for more of a beachy look, just because that's my personal taste. Yeah, I would definitely be open to using stones and everything. Yeah, I just haven't really ventured there. Be open to doing it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Could be my next new
venture.
idea.
New
Thanks,
venture.
Jessie.
I'm onto it. With your designs, how did you come up with them? Did you go on the internet and look at different pearl designs of like different necklaces, or did you just come up with it yourself?
Probably a mixture. I mainly just like sit there and just like play with it, and then I get them. Like, it's so weird. Sometimes they'll pop into my head out of nowhere. I'll just get like a design in my head, and then I'll make it, and then I'll get a few. I always get designs when I shouldn't be doing jewelry. Like when I was studying, my head was bonkers full of designs. It was insane.
It's always the way.
But by the same token, I think you get inspiration from everywhere. So, you know, on Instagram, of course, like I see other people's designs and everything. Like I would never copy anyone's, but it'd be like naive to say that I don't get inspiration from everyone else, because everyone else creates such beautiful things too. And I think that plants seeds for new ideas, and yeah.
Yeah, I have this, I have like the same problem with, I would come up with like all these crazy ideas about podcasting and like what I want to achieve and what I, like all my visions and goals or whatever, but it's always at the wrong time. It's never when I decide to sit down and go, all right, today I'm going to do something productive with the podcast. It's always like recently I've been studying, so it's always in class, and they're trying to like tell me about all this other information not regarding the podcast, and I can't even focus on what they're talking about. So I'm like off in the fairies, just like, like thinking about all these new ideas. So I can sympathize with like what I could imagine, especially in uni too, because it'd be so full on.
Yeah.
Well, speech pathology, I would imagine, is quite a difficult course. Man, I'm really what is going on?
Sorry, I'm a really giggly person. And I think maybe you've caught them.
I can't it's today.
Sorry.
It's something about today. I can't get my words out properly. I'm just like, ugh. But that's all right. Nonetheless. When you started, so last year in April, you said, when was there a point before then where you were like, yep, I want to transition from shells to pearls?
I can't pinpoint it. Honestly, I think I was just in the op shop and I saw like this necklace with pearls on it, and I was like, oh, I'm going to use those.
Straight up.
Yeah.
No backstory. Got it.
Well,
Covered.
I guess I was, I guess pearls and shells, it's all ocean, well, beach vibes or whatever. I guess it was always.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
gonna start. I was gonna roll into. It's like, because I don't know if you remember this, but how old are you? Sorry.
22.
Okay, we're a little bit far.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
Okay, there we go.
Turned 29 this year. Oh my god, Jesus. Anyway, back when I was younger, about maybe like in my teenage, like when I was 15 and stuff. Do you ever remember those necklaces that surfer dudes used to wear? They're like real tight around the neck.
Yeah, they were
yeah,
cool,
I'm sorry,
right?
yeah.
They were so cool. Like off what was it, Blue Water High?
Yeah.
So good.
I'm glad you remember, because it's like, this is going to be real awkward if you don't.
What are they? Oh, there's a name for them.
They're like shells though.
Yeah.
Or they're like plastic. They look like shells and they're like plastic little square little bits. I used to have one. Thought it was cool.
They are cool. They're really cool.
I feel like they're coming back.
I think that they are. Yeah, I've got a few like that I've bought from op shops.
Oh,
I'm gonna
new drop.
play with. Yeah.
But that's what I thought when I found your necklace, which I found through one of your friends, I believe. I would say, I'm trying to think which one. Lainey?
Oh yeah, Eliza.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think that's how I found you.
Yeah.
So shout out to her.
Thanks, Eliza. She helped me with this shoot on Tuesday, actually.
I saw that. I was like, I'm pretty sure it was her. I think, which I think is so cool because I remember when I came upon your page, what you just described about the whole beach vibe is exactly what the vibe that I got when I was like looking at it. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, this is really cool. And then a friend of mine, or like a person that I've met, he was wearing a pearl necklace that he bought from like General Pants, maybe.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure. Some like store. And I was like, oh, that looks really cool. And then I never like thought I could wear one. I was like, I feel like there's this whole, like, I don't know how, I don't want to butcher it. I feel like there's this whole stigma around like femininity within men.
Yes.
And if you wear like a pearl necklace or rings or whatever it may be, something that is not the normal, you're like judged for it.
Yeah. I guess it depends on your opinion on the matter. Like,
I don't know, maybe not for you, but I know from like places where I come from.
Yeah, like you would be.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Totally. You would definitely not wear something like that. Yeah. But then
it like challenges the normal.
Yeah,
it does.
It's not, and which is crazy because like this one necklace isn't that bad. Like I have friends, like a good friend of mine. He's like, he probably has the best fashion for a guy I've ever met. He wears like Camilla.
Yeah.
Like pretty much all girl. Like he's like the coolest dude, and he's like he's gay, and he's like a really good DJ, and he's just this flamboyant character. And he's like, I get so much inspiration from like watching him, just the way he like mixes and matches clothes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it would be so cool to see everyone being like that, like not being scared to like open up and just like be yourself. Yeah. Like express yourself.
Yeah, I think so too. Honestly though, I think that like pearls on boys, I think it's so masculine because they're not afraid to like express some femininity. Like I think it's cool. Okay. I don't know, I think it's a bit of a vibe. I'm like, yeah, it's good style. Yeah. I think it's cool. Yeah. Obviously I do.
Guys,
but, like, I'm biased, but
wear the pearl necklaces.
Yeah, do it
for me. But 100%, it's like it's such a. I think it's slowing down now in terms of like what is masculine and what is feminine for men. And maybe the same for women as well, like what's masculine and feminine for women. I feel like there's a lot of chicks, especially in the surf industry, like the beachy vibe that we've been talking about, and they're wearing like a lot of tomboy clothes. And I reckon that is sick. Like I think that's the coolest look on a girl.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
There's one, I don't know where she's from. I think she might be from the Goldie. I actually messaged her. I was like, dude, you got a sick style. I feel like you should be told about your style. Like if someone appreciates it, don't be scared. It's like 100% be like, man, you're rocking.
It's like a reflection, like you work hard on that. Yeah.
It requires effort and time,
Definitely.
We out here.
Working hard on this style.
But yeah, do you have a lot of male customers buying necklaces from you?
The first pearl necklace that I sold to a boy was to my boyfriend. Like, that was, like, where it started.
I thought you were about to say it was you. I was like, yes.
You were number 2.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if it wasn't for him, you would be number 1. Like, so, no, it's, like, really unpopular. I've had, like, interest in the pearl rings for males. Which I think's cool. I've had, like, a few guys, like, come up to me and be like, oh, I want to buy a pearl necklace off you. So I guess I need to follow that through. I struggle there because I don't want to be like, hey, so did you actually want to buy that? Do you know what I mean?
I think it's all in the delivery.
Yeah, that's true. I just don't like to be pushy.
No, you're not being pushy. Just like, hey, man, just be straight up. Just like, hey, I got a new couple of like necklaces coming out. Are you interested? Yeah. That's what you got to say.
Yeah, I should do it.
Buy it now.
Selling out fast.
Selling out real fast. I didn't realize this about marketing and like sales, which I don't know if you've done a lot of research into sales, considering you are in a brand where you'd probably want to know a little bit about it, but companies will say that things are selling out fast, and like they'll put this pressure on for people to buy stuff. They're like, oh, limited stock, when they have like a full factory full of stock.
Damn.
I didn't know. I only found out about this recently. I was very upset. I was like, that
Yeah,
is
it's a
smart,
bit-
but
yeah.
also disingenuous.
Cunning, like, yeah.
This is whole like. So do you? I guess we can tie this back into what you do. How do you run? Like, how do you promote and sell your product? Is it just through social media?
Pretty much. If I'm totally honest, most of my sales are at the markets. I'm really trying to get my social media like at a good rate now. I've been pretty slack with it, if I'm totally honest. So I'm trying to like work on it more now. Now that's why like I went and got the photographer and hopefully get some good content. And yeah, so it's coming. That's what I have done in the past, like through Instagram. But I guess, you know, it's just a work in progress, I guess. So I'm hoping to do more through Instagram.
So you're going to use Instagram as your platform,
Yeah.
to promote your product.
Yes, I have been, but not enough, if that makes sense. Yeah.
When you decided to go full time, how did this come about? Because I guess going full time in a business, unless if you don't live at home and you got to pay rent and stuff like that, is most of your money generated through your markets? Like, did you have a whole like I was talking about before, like a back catalogue of heaps of necklaces that you just pushing through? Did you save money prior to going full time? Like, how was the process?
I saved a lot of money because my plan was to move back to Brisbane for uni. So I was actually saving up for that. So I was, I guess, already in the mindset of saving up, which is fortunate. And then I guess I started doing the markets and I realised that, I guess I was just overworked working because I was doing jewellery full time and working at Zipickle of an evening. So I was just overworked. So really that's kind of what pushed me to go full time with the jewellery. And yeah, like I have got some fallback. I struggled the past few weeks with like markets being cancelled due to all that weather.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of a
psycho.
Yeah, but I can't complain. Do you know what I mean? Like, especially considering what's happened to everybody else in that scenario. But talking, I guess, like in terms of my business, that was like quite a setback.
I guess it's still relevant though. Like, and like the people that you were probably just describing then, a lot of these companies have insurance and a lot of them are well established.
Yeah.
So although it is devastating, some of them probably will like not make it back, and some probably will. But more specifically to you, it's still, if you're trying to start up a business, I would assume it's pretty stressful, especially when it predominantly is based around markets.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like COVID and stuff like that. How'd you go through COVID?
I guess I wasn't really hit too bad by COVID because I dodged the bad window because that's when I paused for uni. Like that was, I wasn't really doing it too much during the bad COVID period.
Yeah,
Makes
okay.
sense.
Yeah, like you missed like all the lockdowns and stuff.
Yeah.
Did you, obviously before the floods down in Byron and down that end, did you venture down there, do markets? Like where are your markets based? Are they all based on the Sunshine Coast?
Yeah, so I've actually only kind of recently started doing them, to be honest. It's all very recent. I've just gone full-time at Caloundra Markets. Yeah, I love that market.
Seen you there.
Yeah, I was there on Sunday. I love that market. Prior to that, I was at Fisherman's Road. And have you heard of Arundel Coffee Co?
Arundel?
Arundel. It's in Caloundra, near Kings Beach. It's this really cute little coffee shop.
Maybe.
And she would host like a little pop-up market.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was my first like proper market.
And how did you feel when you did that market?
It was awesome. I felt so empowered. That's kind of what pushed me to like really go for it, like really gun it. Yeah, it was really amazing. So
isn't it? I actually haven't really touched on this in the last couple of episodes. Just I don't know, just the way they ran. But one of the main things I want to project in this podcast is like the energy that you feel when you are like operating on that higher frequency. Like when you do something that you're like, oh my God, like it's so good to like. So would you be able to open up maybe a little bit more about how you felt when you like ran your first market for the first time, people were buying your product and you were like, oh my God, like it's actually happening?
Yeah.
Like, did you go home and like tell your mum? Like, were you telling your friends? Were you like, this is it? Like, I just know.
I did it, yeah. Well, as soon as I got in the car, Mum, I sold out, Mum. It was, honestly, I was ecstatic. I think because it's so, all my stuff's so personal. Like, I designed every single piece. Like, it's all, like, I put so much work into everything. It's like, I love every single piece. And so, like, other people loving that, it just makes me so happy. It sounds so silly. But
No,
I'm like,
it is.
you know,
it's perfect. That's exactly what you like.
Yeah.
This is like your vision. Like, this is something that you have curated. Yeah, here we go. Curated. And it's like, it's when you see someone like yourself, like just then when you, like, I could legit see, I was like, oh man, like this is so cool. Like, it's so like, it
like,
makes me feel excited. I'm like, oh yeah, like, this is, because it's such a contagious energy, and it's so, I don't know. I feel like it's like a drug almost in a way, because you're like, oh my god, like this feels really good, and it's so amazing to see someone doing so well, and like to be so happy about the product that they're putting out. Like, you can see that you're really passionate about it, which is great.
Thanks. Yeah, I love it. It's really good.
What does your boyfriend think about it?
Yeah, he likes it. Yeah.
He's a vibe.
Good.
He must be a vibe. He's got a necklace. You'd have to love it.
Right?
Was he there when you did your first market?
We've only, like, we're very, very recent, so no. Like, we've only kind of, like, just, like, like got together, like like with it probably like like we only like made it like we probably only became like official or whatever like very, very recently. So
shout out to your boyfriend. No, that's okay.
Yeah. But he was, when he came across, he was very impressed. He was like, oh, I didn't realize it, because he would always come into the pickle. That's how we met.
Oh, yeah.
And then when he found out that I was doing the jewellery as well, he's like, oh, that's so cool. Yeah.
How do you feel, like, do you have any stresses and, like, any like, doubts when because now that you're full-time, could you, like, maybe talk about some of those stresses for anyone else that might be doing a startup business just like yourself and maybe, like, just in the same stage as you, and how you would overcome, because you seem like a pretty positive person, so I don't know, like everyone has their own methods of overcoming doubt or like self-doubt and negativity or whatever. Is there anything that you do specifically that you would, like a tool that you could use, like someone else could use?
I think you just got to back yourself. And I think if you're going to sell something, only sell something that you love. Don't sell something that you're like, oh yeah, it's okay. Do you know what I mean? Like if you put 100% into something and you love it, someone else is going to love it. And you need to trust that, you know? Like you just need to back yourself. And I would also keep a plan B. So like if you have a job, keep your job, just like cut down on working. That's what I've done. And then for instance, I get the pickle with, you know, like if I guess, struggle to make sales and stuff, I'm always able to be like, hey, can I please pick up some extra shifts? So I guess just, yeah.
It's like having a little bit of an exit strategy.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah. Just, yeah.
Has there ever been any weeks recently or throughout the whole process where you haven't done so well?
Yeah, with the with the loss of the markets, and over that same time from doing too much beading, I actually got like a ganglion cyst in my hand, so I had to stop making jewelry for like a solid week.
Sounds intense.
It wasn't great, but it's okay. It's gone now. It's fine.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
We're great. So yeah, I fully made no sales for about 2 weeks. But you know, that just happens. That's life.
It's part of business, I guess.
It is part of business. You get highs and lows, and yeah, but you get through it. You know what I mean? If you have like saved, you'll be fine. Yeah,
for sure. Like even for me, like the last 2 episodes I've brought out haven't done so well in terms of what I would like in terms of all the other ones that I've put out, like the views and listens and stuff probably haven't gone as well as what I thought they would, which is kind of like disheartening. Yeah. And you're like, oh, like maybe what I'm putting out isn't being well received to the general public or whoever might be listening, which would be the general public. I don't know who else that would be. But anyway, Yeah, and I was like always, I don't know, for the last week, I've been kind of having a bit of a tough time mentally trying to just deal with like, just like the thought. I'm like, I'm not understanding as to why, like, because all the other ones did so well. And then I was speaking to my friend, so Jesse, who runs Kidveen, the clothing label who I've had on. He's like gave me this bit of advice, which is really interesting because I never thought of it that way. And he basically said, he was like, you know, it's not necessarily about like the whole like doing so well, as in like all the followers, all the listeners, all this, that, whatever. He's like, it's the value and content that you are actually bringing out, which is important. And I didn't really, at the time, like I wasn't really thinking about it in that way. It was like a kind of a weird, I guess, I don't know, because when you get caught up, like I'll refer this back to you because this is what I'm trying to get to, but it's like when you're so set on like one negative thing, it's really hard to see the bigger picture, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
So did you ever get, like when you were feeling like that, did you speak to your mum or someone and did they give you any type of advice to like maybe shift your mindset?
Yeah, I think, my mum's been pretty good. She's just kind of reassures me that she's like, no, like this is really beautiful. Like keep going. It's really good what you're doing. And I think, honestly, I think you just got to keep going. Do you know what I mean? That's just what I've done. You just got to like I have such bad days. And for instance, with jewellery, like, you know, some people will, like theirs will break or something like that. And like I'm like, oh no, I feel so bad because it's broken or, do you know what I mean? But you just fix it and you move on with it. You know, you can't like keep, I guess, like dwelling on it. You know, you just got to keep going. Positive
little attitude. I like it. That's great. No, it is true. It's like, it's the best. I think you just need to keep like bringing out and just being positive.
Yeah.
But we should definitely touch on this because I'm glad you said that because it re-sparked my question that I had ages ago and I forget and come back. It's great. With the whole necklace thing, because it is recycled fishing line and they do break, what's the process? Are you, like, can they just send it back to you and you just fix it or?
Yeah, definitely. It rarely happens. I'm also found it happened with the like the fasteners. So when I first started doing it, I guess I've been learning as I've been going, and the line would slip through I might just show you, honestly. I don't know how to describe it.
Everyone else is sitting there trying to imagine. They're like, oh, what does this look like?
It's like the little hook links.
Yeah, like the little thing at the back.
Yeah. So it's like the little circle thing, and then in the circle thing, there's that little gap where you join it together.
Yeah, you crimp it together.
Yes. Yep. So when I first started, this is like probably like the first like few that I made, like that bit would fall through the little crack.
Oh yeah, okay.
So
like it would just slip through, like, because it wasn't crimped on there probably.
Yeah, like it would, like the hook would like open up a little bit, so then the line would slip through the little gap.
Yep.
Yeah. So I guess with those, I would just like take them all back and fix them. I'll just get people to send them back to me and I'll fix it, or I'll just give them a new one. Yeah. But I find that the fishing line's super sturdy. Like it hardly ever snaps.
I was gonna go surfing in it.
Yeah, that's
and I was
fine.
too scared.
No.
I was like, if this breaks, I'll be searching for hours at the bottom of the sea like a true diver, trying to figure out, like, trying to get all these pearls back. I'm like, oh my god.
I went surfing today with one on. Like I'd sleep in mine. I do everything in mine.
I think I'd cry I think I'm just too nervous because I really like it and I don't want it to break. So I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna like put it there inside. I'm like, I can't like go out surfing because if it broke, I'd be like, oh god damn it.
Oh, I can make you a new one.
No, it's not the same.
But like it should be fine. I wear mine everywhere. All my friends wear theirs everywhere. Like, yeah.
What has the response been through I guess just the general public of Sunshine Coast?
Really, really positive. Yeah, like most people, well, I guess people wouldn't really come up to my stall if they didn't like it though, you know?
True.
So like everyone who I interact with, like they love it, and everyone's so kind as well, you know? Everyone's so lovely and super keen, and they love I think a lot of people, they come up and they see it and they're like, oh, this is pretty. And then they get the extra bonus surprise of it all being recycled. And then they're like, oh, this is cool. You know, like this isn't, because as of late, there's been a lot of people coming out making similar stuff. I think it's just in fashion at the moment and they're so pretty. So I think people like used to seeing it and then they come across mine and they're like, oh, it's all recycled. Like it's a bit different. That's really cool. So I think people are like receiving that side of things really, really well.
When you said a lot of companies, do you mean a lot of companies are making pearl necklaces at the moment?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I didn't even. Yeah, so you did mention that previously about like on Instagram, obviously because you make necklaces and the way that marketing works somehow. If you talk about it, apparently it turns up on your phone.
Yep.
I don't know if that's true or not, so don't hold me to that, but seems to be weird to me.
Siri's listening.
They're chasing us. So how do you feel like your brand sits within the group of every other person's brand?
I think it's hard to comment. I think everyone has a different following. I guess mine's probably a lot smaller than some of the bigger brands. However, a lot of my customers are pretty consistent though too. I have a lot of repeat customers. So I think that helps. And yeah, I don't know. I'd say I'm like in the middle.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, I try not to compare myself to other people's stuff though, because mine's a little bit different. Mine's a little bit more small and dainty, whereas I feel like a lot of people have those bulkier ones.
The big ones?
Yeah.
The old traditional style.
Yeah, I like the bulkier beads and everything. But then some people's are also quite dainty. I think my stuff, I haven't seen anything of mine that's like the exact same to mine, but I guess I would probably be the only one to notice the difference as well. So I don't know.
What are the telltale signs?
I think it's the bulky beads. People use like bulkier beads. And some use like I can always tell like the pearls too, like if they look fake or if they look super farmed or I don't know. Let's
go into that. I'm glad that you brought that up. So what is the process in terms of like picking out good pearls, understanding what is a good pearl and what's a bad pearl? Because I have no idea about pearls at all. Like all I know from growing up was what I mentioned before about rich people have pearl necklaces, real old Elizabethan style, and that's about it. That's like I don't really know the first thing when it comes to pearls at all.
I honestly don't know that much either, if I'm totally honest. I think because I only source recycled pearls, I'm not like going out and buying a certain type of pearl, so I don't actually know that much either. I just go by how it looks. So for me, you can tell if a pearl looks good or not, really. And there's a lot of the ones you can tell they're super fun because they get like that spirally thing in the middle. So the pearl will be like that, and then in the middle there's those lines.
Oh, yeah,
lines.
okay, yep.
Yeah, so there's those. Yeah, honestly, I think it just depends. Like you can tell.
Is there different names for different sizes of pearls? Is there like a classic cut? Like, 'cause, you know, like diamonds have like different names. Is there like different names for those?
Yeah, so all pearls have like different names and stuff. Like yours are seed pearls. Most of the ones that I actually use are seed pearls because I think that they were quite a thing a while ago, maybe like in the, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago or whenever people were wearing pearl necklace. So there's a lot, like I can find those. Yeah.
Pearl, like this. I found it so fascinating when I came across your page because I was literally in the market for a pearl necklace for ages. I was like, I really want to wear one. I just had, I don't know, I didn't really have the balls to like wear one. I was like, oh no, they're not good. And then for some reason I just ran across your page and I was like, that's it. Like,
there you go. Yes.
I'm getting one.
Yes.
But I 100% believe in like the sustainability side of it, like recycling. And where do you get your fishing line from?
So all from the op shop.
That op shop has everything.
The op shop has everything. Yeah. Honestly, the op shop is the way to go. So I don't want to use like fishing line that's actually been used to catch fish because I don't know. I think some people get a little bit grossed out by that. And
can you do that though? Wouldn't it be like more like? Wouldn't it be weaker?
Yeah, and I feel like it gets like there's nicks in it. So then the necklace would get all like wonky.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I just use like rolls that people have donated.
Oh.
Yeah. So you know how, I don't know, maybe when you were younger, like a kid, you went through a little fishing stage, like, yeah, Dad, we should go fishing. And
Nah.
then you just like left it in the garage and you never touched it again.
Yeah.
So I feel like all the ones that get donated are those reels. Yeah.
I wish I had a fishing stage. I would be the worst fisherman. Fishing's hard.
Yeah.
It's very mundane to me.
Yeah.
Sorry to everyone that, like, I'm not saying I don't like fishing, but when you have the attention span of a goldfish, it makes it really, really hard to sit there and be like, righto. And I have a lot of friends that do enjoy it, which I find, like, all power to them. But I'm like, I think about them sitting out there for hours on end. I'm like, are you trying to run away from someone else that you don't want to listen to? Or what's going on? It's like, I'm unsure.
Oh, do you know what my dad told me though? You know how perhaps some boys, they struggle to talk about emotions and stuff?
Yeah.
I think that a lot of guys use fishing to go out and have chats. Like it's like I don't know, this is what my dad said. Like they go out fishing and like I guess that's when they have their more deep chats and stuff because they're doing their blokey activity. And then they just got to, make some small talk and then they get into the deep chats. So yeah.
I've never thought about it like that.
Yeah, so that's
this is great. This is why this is what I love. I love when you like find, like, this is the best thing about having like all new people come on all the time because you always get different perspectives on things. Where I would never have thought of that. And now maybe I'll start asking all my fishing friends. I'm like,
just go out for
boys out there having deep chats, brother? You can tell me.
I'm sure that's not the case for it, but everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that I think a lot of people do that. It's like you know how girls they go for a coffee and catch up. Boys go for a fish, a beer, and a yarn. I don't know. Sorry, we're back on the gender stereotyping again. This is not good. Sorry.
That's it. This whole page is getting shut down. How do you like with your brand? You got the photographer in, and you're starting to. I'm assuming. Do you have a plan on how you're going to change the look of your social media? And how does that work? Because everyone has a different way on how they're going to brand their social media or just branding in general. So where have you drawn inspiration from anywhere, or is it like kind of like a vision in your head on what you want it to look like?
It's definitely a vision in my head. Again, I guarantee that vision has come from me subconsciously getting inspiration from everyone else's pages. But in my head, I have my vision of like photo and then like close up of like the necklace, like the next slot and then another photo and then I guess like that same pattern the whole way through. And by photo, I mean like photo like of it on a model or a customer. That's the other thing. I love posting photos of my customers because I think it keeps it like, they're all so gorgeous and it keeps it real too. So that's also what I want to like keep my page like quite real.
Yeah, like more community based.
Yeah.
Style.
Yeah.
Where do you get your models from?
Well, I used Eliza, who's one of my good friends from uni, and then I used my friend Louisa, who was she was my manager at one of my first jobs. And I'm just like, you guys are so beautiful. Please model for me.
So all your hot friends?
Yeah, all my hot friends. Pretty much.
Sick.
Yeah.
Have you had anyone reach out to you asking to do a model shoot with you?
No.
I'm not sure how it works. That's why I'm asking. I'm like, because like sourcing models, obviously you can go through an agency, but I'd assume you're not at that stage yet where you're trying to source in a lot of models. So is it just all through all your friends?
Yeah, all my friends. And then, we'll just go to the beach one day and then sometimes I'll bring the necklaces and I'll be like, I have my friend Kira and she's beautiful. And I'm like, Kira? And she's like, what? I'm like, just put this necklace on for a second.
Your friends must love you. Just like
they
constantly
do, they're
running
very
around.
tolerant.
How does a photo shoot work when it comes to content shooting? Like, is there, like, is the look that you're trying to go for like a beach look? Is it obviously is it like taken at the beach? It's like a very beachy vibe.
Yeah, I wanted it like beach clean, classy. So the one that I'm working on at the moment, I've got this most amazing photographer, Siobhan, doing it. She was so awesome. She just like got my vision straight away. She was amazing. So she kind of just like, I guess, directed us on the beach a little bit. We were all in like white dresses, and yeah, I kind of just wanted it like beachy, but like a bit, no, just a bit like classy. I really don't want it to look sexy. That was like my main thing. Like I just want it to be like cute and pretty, and yeah, so just classy, clean, pretty, beachy.
I like it. I think it's actually a real fresh outlook to have. I could be wrong in what I'm about to say, so if I am, I'm not trying to offend anyone at all. But I feel like the whole current look in the surf industry is like sexy surfer girl or sexy surfer guy, or like it's all based around like being hot and sexy, blah blah blah, all that crap. So I think I'm right, but I could be wrong. Anyway, sorry. But yeah, like it's cool to maybe have a different take on the surf industry and the way it should be perceived from someone who might not be in the industry. I guess because like you'll be selling necklaces and stuff like that to younger girls. Mm-hmm. So I'd assume you wouldn't want. No, you should never assume. But like, I guess you wouldn't want to be projecting this sexy look. Yeah. Because then the younger girls are probably going to be looking at that like, I need to be looking like this.
Exactly.
To wear this kind of necklace where.
Yeah. That's not the case. Yeah, like I want it to be open to everyone, and that's why I do like to, I guess, like keep such like like all my customers on my Instagram, because everyone is so beautiful in their own way, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like you're allowing people to feel beautiful within themselves because that's what they are.
Yeah.
Like I just don't. Yeah. I'm not a fan of like people projecting like this particular look, which I guess it ties back into everything we've just spoken about, like men feeling feminine to wear necklaces or females feeling good enough to wear something because it doesn't make them feel like they like have to be sexy to wear it. I'm only speaking on men, by the way. I'm not speaking specifically on women because I'm not a lady and I don't like. But from what I've seen from the outside, that seems to be the narrative when it comes to like fashion. And a lot of people, even for men, like are afraid to wear certain things because they don't feel like they're worthy enough. Yeah. So I think what you're doing is actually really like beneficial for the long term. Because do you have younger kids wearing your necklace?
Yeah, I get a lot of girls who are kind of like late teens wearing it. Probably late teens to like late 20s is probably like my main bracket of customers. Yeah. So yeah, I think it is so important for the younger girls. And then of course you get like the odd like 12, 13-year-old. Yeah.
Is that something that you thought about when you were coming out with the look and what you wanted, like in terms of what we were just talking about? Like was that something like you wanted to be like neutral for people to wear? Like you didn't want it to be like sexy and like one specific like streamlined look?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess I just wanted something for everyone. Like a different style that could appeal to anyone. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Like I guess I never was making a necklace and thought like, oh yeah, this is sexy. Like, you know what I mean? Like I guess I've also been like, oh, this is so pretty. Like, yeah.
Like I guess you were already in the mindset of like, you just wanted to look nice. I guess because like, yeah, maybe, I don't know. It probably wouldn't have made any sense then. But because it seems to me that you're very lovely and like a bubbly personality and you're very kind, so you probably didn't really have those thoughts anyway going into it. Like maybe to you it was just natural to just make it look petite and cute and like clean and classy like you described.
Yeah, like I guess that's just what it's just my vision. It's my vibe, yeah, maybe.
The beach vibe.
The beach vibe, that's it. The beach vibe that everyone can be a part of.
So everyone, we're all going down the beach. Hanging out. So what's the price point for the necklaces then? Because I was always under the impression that pearls were really expensive.
Mm-hmm. So I think I've always struggled with prices. Everyone's always tells me, Jess, put up your prices. I'm like, no. Never. No. They start at $30. So my $30 necklaces don't have pearls. So that's just like a beaded necklace or a necklace with shells. And then at the moment they go up to $70 for full pearls, for a full pearl necklace. However, I think I'm going to, if like, I guess like the male sector takes off a little bit more, I'm going to make theirs maybe $80 just because they use more pearls, just because they're bigger necks and stuff. So, but I don't know. That's my thoughts at the moment. I haven't like really put out like a male range yet though.
Yeah, so what does a male range look like? Considering I'm wearing one right now, but how do you make a male, like how does a male range, what does that look like basically?
Well, I guess I would just want to photograph it on males, I guess, and just show that males can wear this one. Like I've got some designs that I guess are way more masculine. Not necessarily the pearl necklaces, because for me, I think the pearl necklaces are just so unisex.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess like the male ones are just a bit bigger, really. Yeah. And then I've got like, you know how I was speaking about those African beads before?
That are from Africa.
That are from Africa. I've got some other ones, and they just make there's these really cool colours and stuff that I just like. I've got like a little male selection that I've had at the market, so I just want to like photograph that and put that up.
Would you use your boyfriend as a model?
Maybe, possibly, probably. Yeah, he does like a little bit of modelling for companies and stuff, so I think it's a bit of a yeah. Like, thank you.
Thanks for being sexy. Oh no.
Cute.
Sick.
Yeah, so maybe him, or I'll just ask some of my friends. I don't know. My Eliza, who does the modelling for me, her boyfriend said he would be keen to do some modelling for me too. So
nice.
Yeah, I guess just ask my friends really.
What would be a male necklace that you would design if it wasn't a pearl one?
I guess just like darker colour beads. Like I've got like these. It's hard to describe it without showing you a photo, but I've got these really cool beads from Africa. These are another set of African beads.
These are different ones, Jessie. They're not the same ones.
Basically, all the male stuff that isn't pearls are these really cool African beads that I found, and I found a few sets of these beads. You know, you see like, do you remember seeing little kids wearing like those, like kind of like the little surfy boy necklaces?
Yeah, like the little wood ones, the little wood beads.
The wood beads, yeah, but they also had like glass beaded ones. It was like a thing.
Like the clear ones.
They were colourful.
Probably, yeah.
Just like really cool beaded designs, really.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm like going for, and I want to like, I guess, open that up to kids too, like little boys and little girls.
Do you feel like the resurgence is coming back in terms of like these style of necklaces, and like, remember the necklace I was telling you about? Like, do you feel like that's coming back? Because for a while there, that like dropped out. Like after the 90s, that wasn't a thing.
Yeah, no.
Like, it just dropped out and it's gone. Mm-hmm. But now I feel like it's starting to come back.
It definitely is.
Especially like now that of like this necklace or...
Yeah.
But which is a thought that I had actually when I was thinking about your product, is that you're like bringing it back but in a new way. Like you're not bringing that particular style that I mentioned before. You're doing it with pearls, and like I'm sure you probably have pearl like bracelets and stuff, like pearl rings. Like, so you're like bringing back that surf vibe but in like a fresh perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that something that you're like, oh.
Like I thought, yeah. Pretty much, yeah. I guess I did take like a lot of inspiration from those times, like that style. Yeah, I think that style is really cool though.
Did you do a lot of research into that 90s surf style before? Like, have you done research into it?
I haven't really done much research into it, no. Like, I guess I've just like seen stuff.
Yeah.
But I've never like Googled 90s beach style.
Yeah, like it wasn't something that you like looked into.
No, like honestly, most of my stuff is me just like sitting at my desk just playing. Yeah.
Do you when you are designing a necklace, do you draw it out on a bit of paper?
No, just make it.
Oh, so you don't have like any like a sketchbook or anything like that
No, it's all just stored
in the brain,
in the database.
in the computer.
Yeah, in the computer. But the computer blanks out a lot, so I probably should back it up in a USB stick or something. Always needs a little reset.
People tell me this all the time, like when it comes to organisation. Like I was saying to you when you're on the way here, like I literally need a PA. Like I have a billion things going on all the time.
Oh gosh.
It never shuts up. Like I've got a whiteboard at home from all the guests. Like maybe I was telling you, like I had to shuffle all these guests around. It was a nightmare. I was like, so I'm like trying to like write all these dates, but I find it so amazing that you can just sit there and like retain all those images and then like design these beautiful necklaces where I would forget. Like,
I forget quite a few. I do. But then you start playing and then it comes back.
Comes back.
Yeah, it does.
How long does it take to make one of these necklaces?
It depends. So, like yours, like the pearl ones are a little bit faster because it's easier to thread like pearls than it is beads because they're bigger. So it just depends. I've got this one style with these tiny, tiny, tiny beads, and it takes me so long, like 40 minutes sometimes, to make one.
That's pretty long.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, so if I'm designing, it takes like a while. But if I'm just like smashing it out, it just depends. Usually like my normal ones, probably like 15 to 20. But yeah, the ones with the tiny beads take a lot longer.
Your studio, do you have like a studio at home? Or is it just a desk?
It's just a desk.
Is it? And then just has all the beads there?
Yeah, so I use, you know when you get like Thai takeaway, those containers?
Like Chinese containers, the plastic ones?
Yeah.
Like
So
the clear ones?
Yeah, so like reuse all like old takeaway containers.
I thought when you said Thai takeaway, you're like, like noodle box. How they got like it's like, oh, this is an interesting take on storing your beads. It's very edgy. Right on the edge.
That's so creative.
So creative. Yeah, I only use noodle boxes, bro. I was like, oh, fair enough. It's so good. So yeah, just like the clear ones.
Yeah, just the normal clear ones. So I if I get takeaway, I'll be like, yay, new container. So I just
nice.
I just have them like stacked. Yeah.
And then I don't even know if I asked this, but like the range of, because they're all op shop, there's no, what's like a recycled necklace going for these days? Like, are they expensive?
It depends. Usually like $3 to $10 for like a necklace, but some of these African beads ones, man, it cost me up to $20. I'm like,
Jesus.
I know. The pearls are pretty expensive. The pearls can be quite exy. But yeah.
Yeah, like you don't like barter, do you, when you're like buying these? Like, if you're buying in bulk or anything, you just buy it straight up?
Yeah, I feel bad bartering at op shops because a lot of them are like charities and stuff too. So
yeah, I'm not saying.
Yeah.
I just don't really understand the process. Like, I thought that maybe if you're buying in bulk, you'd get like some
cheaper.
Yeah, because I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I thought that again. I've got this whole misconception that pearls are really expensive, and maybe they are really expensive if you buy them out of a jeweler.
Yeah. Like I don't like a lot of the pearls I buy are pretty well for secondhand. They're pretty expensive, I would say.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So honestly, it just depends. I get a lot off eBay.
What's what does your trajectory look like for the rest of the year? Like, what have you got in store? Is there anything new that you want to talk about that you'd want to bring out, or?
I'm really wanting to push waistbands at the moment. Like that's like my latest. Yeah.
I think I've seen that.
Yeah.
Like, can't rock one of those.
But I think because like for winter, I know that like the low cut jeans are coming in this winter.
Like the old 90s low cut? No
yeah,
way.
Yeah.
Like Britney Spears?
Britney Spears.
Oh, what?
Yeah. It's coming. It's coming this winter.
Really?
They'll be here. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shakira.
Yeah, literally. It's like the low cut, low crotch like jeans, that you're talking about? Like what Britney and stuff. Oh my God.
I think they're coming.
The
or maybe
90s
even
is
like
coming
not
back.
like maybe not like because some of those were crazy low.
They were low. It was like
Maybe
literally
like-
like maybe 4 inches from like, I was just like, that's low.
Yeah, so maybe not that low, but like lower cut jig, they're not going to be super high waisted this year, I don't think. Yeah,
Heard it here first.
Yeah,
Jess
I
is
know.
making predictions. Really?
The
Is that
fashion scene, yeah.
Is that the fashion scene getting around at the moment?
Yeah, it is. So I reckon winter it'll be low-cut jeans with some waistbands on the side.
Oh. So you're already like preempting what's about to happen.
I am, yes. So that's my little plan there.
Shit, that's so good.
Yeah.
So the waistbands is the next. Like, how does that work? Do you have two of them and you overlap them, or is it just one? Like, how does that design work?
I've got 3 designs at the moment. So one of them is just like plain beaded.
Yep.
Like around there. So I guess they'd be a little bit hard because you'd have to customize them.
Yeah, I was about to say,
People
do you
have
have
to
to
send
like,
me their measurements.
because their waists will be different. Like, is it meant to sit like midway up or like on the hips? Like, how do these things sit?
I think that they should sit like a little bit below the waist, like there. But that's my opinion.
Yeah.
But I guess some girls want them tight on their waist. Some girls want them like slanted, so half on their hips and stuff. Yeah, so I guess we'll just have to see because people will have to send me their measurements in order to
So
do
there'll
it.
be custom orders then.
Yeah.
And you've already made a few though, because I've seen a photo of it.
Yes, so I've made a few. I mainly made them for the shoot. I've sold one, and then Eliza took home one as well. So they've got 2 out, and then so I guess we'll see.
Eliza's getting sponsored with all the necklaces and
Yeah,
rings.
she is. Well, she does so much. Like she did the modeling and everything. Yeah,
I like it.
Eliza's
Sponsorship.
sponsored.
Sponsored.
She is.
That's so good. And then, is there anything else that you would? I guess because you already touched on the branding, so that's going to be something new. I'd say you'd be working on for the rest of.
It is, yeah.
Really can't get sentences out today.
Something I've been dabbling with. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not yet. I think I just have to see how the year rolls out. But I really
If you mention it now, it's going to be out, and then people are going to
expect it.
hold you to this. No, I'm joking. No.
Something that I want to do. I don't know if it's going to happen or not,
joking.
but I really want to make bikinis really, really badly. Like that's really what I like. Yeah, do
And
bikinis and jewelry.
Incorporate the pearls into the bikinis.
Yeah, and the shells like on the straps and stuff.
That would be sick.
I thought, I've done up a sample at home and it's super cute, but it was not practical. So I need to work very hard, and I haven't done sewing since I sewed my Barbie's dresses. Like,
Got to get back into it.
I
You
know. So I guess we'll just see. If I have enough time to play around, I will. But if not, I won't. Yeah, we'll see. And I guess it's like trying to incorporate that whole recycled thing as well into that, because there's that fabric you can get that they use fishing nets to make bikini fabric. So I would be able to use that. But
You're right.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't even know you
haven't
could
really.
do that.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. I'm
It
excited
is
for you now. I want to
exciting.
see what it looks like.
Yeah. So I don't know. I haven't really
It's gonna
researched. I'm like, this is like 10 steps ahead of where I'm at now. Do you know what I mean?
You've already put it out there. Now it's out in the world. So
Yeah. Hopefully by next summer, there will be SJE bikinis.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that.
Yeah.
I think you should definitely do it.
Thank
100%.
you. Thank
Yep.
you.
You heard it here first.
Maybe some SJE boardies too.
Here we go. See,
you
I
go.
really like Patagonia and what they do, how they recycle their all their clothes are recycled.
Yeah, it's so cool, right?
So cool. And they'll fix it for free.
Yeah, that's
It's like my
amazing.
favorite brand of all time.
So good.
So good.
I actually remember hearing you talk about it with Alex.
Did I?
Yeah,
Oh,
dude,
yes.
yeah.
I really-
It's sick.
I always, because I ask custom, what the fuck?
Yeah, your customers and clients.
Wow. So sorry, everyone. Jesus. I always ask my guests to like just make sure they do a bit of research, like watch an episode or listen to an episode or whatever. And then when they mention, like they always bring it up, and I'm always shocked that they listen. I'm
Yeah,
like,
oh, you actually
I'm
did
like,
it.
oh, you did? Oh, sweet. I'm like, oh man. Well, it sounds like you're gonna have the best year, and I'm really, really excited.
Thanks.
There's 2 things that we like to do. I don't know if you always watch one of these things to the end, but there's 2 things that we like to do. You get to shout out a local legend who you think should come on the show.
Uh-huh.
And then the second one is, can you give any advice to someone who might be in a startup business that you think, or just any advice in general to someone who might be wanting to chase their goals but haven't yet started?
Okay. I would do my shout out to my amazing photographer, Siobhan. Her Instagram is Shots by Shiv. She is amazing. She's so nice. She's just, she exceeded my expectations beyond belief, honestly. Amazing. And then I would probably say you just need to back yourself, and you need to make sure you have a backup plan. And I think that when you have a backup plan, you're not so scared to back yourself. Because if you fail, you just do the whole, what's the worst that can happen? I go to my backup plan.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
This has been another amazing episode of Creative Appetite. I'm always so excited and I always feel so elated every time I leave these episodes after speaking to these amazing people. Jess is another one of those amazing people. We shared lots of laughs and it was really, really fun. And, well, you know what to do, gang. Hang around for the next one. Yoo!